Good afternoon and welcome into a live edition of the Dream Wager. Today is August 16th, 2021. I am your host, Dylan. It's great to be back with the boys. Sitting next to me on my right might be the hottest gambler on the show. Elvis, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
Can't complain.
Pretty good. Can't complain.
In the green. That's all that matters. And joining us from sunny South Carolina, the legend, Joey D. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Good to see you back, man. And I know I also had a pretty good week. I think we're coming off a hot weekend, boys.
Oh, yes, sir. It's great to have you both here today with us. Kind of a light show today. We'll get you guys in and out as quick as possible. Our two-a-days continue as we finish up the NFC, and we'll tackle the NFC West. We'll hit the diamond and give you our favorite plays to end the show. But, Elvis, I do want to start. Big trade last night in the NBA. Eric Bledsoe has been traded to the Clippers in exchange for Pat Bev, Rondo, and a guy named Daniel Ortoro. You like this move for the Clippers, or do you think they'll regret trading Beverly and Rondo?
I think this is strictly a business decision. And what I mean by that is I personally think the Clippers not gave up on this season, but Pat Bev been there. Rondo's, we all know what Rondo represents.
Yeah.
Pat Bev is just a dog, I'm be honest. And he was the longest tenured.
Defensively.
Yeah, and he was the longest tenured Clipper. So, you kind of breaking up the band, you could say the voice of the locker room, you could say. Because, he's very outspoken. And Kawhi and Paul George about to tell Pat Bev to shut up. Let's just be honest. But when I say this is a business decision, Pat Bev and Rondo was going to make $15 million each this season.
And they're expiring contracts. Good point.
Eric Bledsoe is only making $15 million this season, if not maybe a little lower.
Yeah.
So just off right there, you're avoiding salary tax.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard, we all know he's torn ACL. He's not gonna start the season. He might miss the whole season.
Load management again.
But Kawhi's not coming back in the year 2021.
But you would think that Kawhi, especially PG, since he will be playing, they had to have signed off on this. They're not just going to do this decision without talking to their two best players, right?
Yeah, but why would they sign off on this? Like, I don't know. Me personally, I like Bledsoe. I think, this is how I compared it. Bledsoe's an all defensive player. He made all defensive teams. So so did Pat Bev.
Yeah.
So you're still getting the same caliber of defense at the point guard position. That's one. Combined Rondo and Pat Bev, they're gonna give you around the same points.
Yeah, 12
like 12
to 15.
12, 15, 20 combined a night.
And I think that's what you need coming off the bench.
So I think Bledsoe will give you around 15 to 20 points a night. Yeah. Bledsoe could get you 30 points a night.
I say Bledsoe's more inclined to score, I would think, on the offensive side.
That's the thing that helps.
Yeah.
On the offensive ball, he could give you buckets. He could give you 15 to 20 points a night average for the season and give you a 30-point game every now and
Here
then.
And
But to me, this is where I think the Clippers lost the trade. This sounds all good in the regular season. But Bledsoe's numbers in the postseason haven't been what he's been doing in the regular season. His field goal percentage drops. His three-point percentage is around 21% in the playoffs. That's just absurd.
Yeah.
So I think for regular season, you're winning the trade. But when it comes down to playoff time, I don't think you don't want Pat Bev or Rondo on your team come playoffs time. So me personally, I'd rather have Pat Bev and Rondo on my team come playoff.
And it's just more than just on the court. Like, you have veteranship with Rondo. He's won championships.
That's the thing. But remember when Kawhi Leonard missed that go-ahead 3-point, I think game 2 against the Suns, and Rondo came up to him and was like, why he took that shot?
Yeah.
And it kind of went viral a little bit.
He doesn't like that.
He doesn't like that. And then with Pat Bev, remember when my man Pat Bev pushed CP3 and the game 6 in the conference finals?
That hurt the team.
Absolutely.
Like that, I'm saying? That's just unprofessional. I don't think the Clippers want that to be represented with their uniform on. So that has something to do with it. But come playoff time, those are two dogs I want on my team personally.
That makes sense. I have a quick question. I was going to say real quick with the Eric Bledsoe thing. Do you think it's not that he lacks a clutch gene, but it maybe exposure in the playoffs, because he hasn't been there as often as Rajon Rondo is possibly living in the playoffs and as much as Pat Bev.
That's the thing.
You think it could be attributed to that?
I don't think he's going to be able to put up the production Rondo and Pat Bev give you in the playoffs than what he will. In the regular season, yes. We know what he could do in the regular season. He's capable. I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm just saying his postseason play hasn't matched his production in the regular season. And that's to
fair.
Me, and that's to me, that's the fall off point. Because as the Clippers, you're on a win now. You have Kawhi Leonard, you have Paul George, you have Marcus Morris, you have a decent bet.
Reggie Jackson.
You're set up to win now.
Yeah.
And to me, Bledsoe hasn't shown or proven that he's able to win now in the playoffs. Like Pat Bev, Rondo been there, done that. Pat Bev is a dog. You saw him. He headbutted Devin Booker for God's sake.
Break the
Bledsoe's
nose.
not about to do that.
Do you think there's a shot that he can improve on that, or there's a chance?
Yeah. He's a talented player. He's a great point guard, but his history shows.
The history, there's precedent.
Tomorrow, I don't know what you can do tomorrow. I'm just knowing what you've done.
But now he has a better coach. He has Doc Rivers. But to Joey's point, Doc Rivers struggles in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, but it's Ty Lue.
Oh,
Ty Lue.
Excuse me.
Right.
Oh, they went from the 76ers.
Yeah.
Wow. Excuse me.
But yeah,
that's how you know.
That's how you know. But Ty Lue is a good coach. But at the end of the day, if you're not like that, you're just not like that. And you traded away 2 players that are like that. I'm not saying Pat Bev, Rondo going to give you 30 on your head top, but come playoff time,
they have clutch shots.
They're going to hit big shots, and they're not scared of the moment. I'm not saying Eric Bledsoe's scared of the moment.
He just hasn't been there enough.
He just hasn't proven. He hasn't shown that he's capable of doing it. So.
You're not that guy, pal.
I think the deal kind of makes sense for the Clippers. They had too many guards on their rosters. And like you said, they were able to dump a pair of expiring contracts to the Grizzlies. And I think Bledsoe can be a nice backup. I think Reggie Jackson's going to start. They just got that new deal 2 years.
After that playoff run, he has to start.
He has to.
Yeah.
And Bledsoe, he didn't even play for the Grizzlies. He just got traded, and then he got traded again. Yeah. So he only averaged 12.2 points per game, shooting 42% from the field with the Pelicans. He's a decent player, but like to your point, the days of Bledsoe being an all-around point guard are past him.
Yeah, you're not gonna get the Bledsoe that was on the Pelicans.
No, and even he wasn't that productive, and he was surrounded by a lot of young talent.
Yeah, he had Anthony Davis, Boogie Cousins, he had
Zion.
Rondo was there, Drew Holiday. That was a team.
And with the Grizzlies and them getting Rondo and Beverly, I honestly don't know what their roles will be on that team. John Morant's the main guy.
You got John Morant. I don't know.
Dylan Brooks.
Maybe Rondo, more of a mentor. Maybe
like a veteran guy.
Yeah, and then Pat Bev maybe might get released.
Or I would not even released. I thought Pat Bev could help Ja on the defensive side, because offensively Ja has it locked down.
Yeah.
Defensively he can improve a little bit.
I think they're gonna end up keeping Rondo just to help Ja understand the game much better. You know,
yeah.
Rondo is one of the smartest point guards we ever had in this game.
Absolutely.
So
I agree.
I think he can help him in that aspect. But Pat Bev,
they can get released though. I don't know what I don't think they have that much of an impact on this Grizzly team.
I wouldn't personally pay Pat Bev $15 million for a season.
No, me either. They might dump that contract or trade him at the deadline.
I'll trade him tomorrow.
Well, thank you, Elvis. It was good to talk NBA for a little bit in the middle of August. Before you know it, season will be here. Have you had any summer league action thus far, or any leans for tonight?
Nah, not at all. The only thing that's been real exciting is this young talent. You know, Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Doing great, but he's shut it down. He got some hamstring soreness. Covington looking good.
Cunningham.
Looking good.
Yo, Jello Ball looking like he could help a
Joey,
team.
Oh, I didn't want anyone to bring his name up.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. My man Jello Ball been going crazy. I'm gonna be honest.
He making the team though?
He deserves to. He's shooting above 40% from three. I think pretty sure he's averaging above 8 points a game. I know in his first game he had 5 threes. He went 5 for 8.
Yeah.
So what a 4-point play. He's making some passes. Remember, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
And his dad LeVar always said, out of my 3 sons, he's the best shooter.
Wow.
That's saying
His
something.
words, not mine.
Yeah. That is
maybe there's some
he's
chemistry there between the two of them. If they stay for sure.
Yeah. They were 6 years old, 5 years old.
They have a couple young guys on that team. They have that Bouknight guy, James Bouknight from UConn that they drafted. With the Hornets, I think they play a lot of their young guys in the summer league. So I think that's what you got to look at in summer league teams that they're playing their young guys. Because if you don't know who's in and out of these lineups, it could get tricky betting on summer league. Excuse me. I actually have a lean. Speaking of Cade Cunningham, I'm gonna take the Pistons on the money line over the Magic. Both teams have young stars, but Jalen Suggs, the kid from Gonzaga, he's out for the rest of the summer. Oh, granted, there's only a couple more games.
I think it
ends tomorrow. He's out with a thumb injury. Cade Cunningham might play, but Luka Garza, the kid from Iowa, who's player of the year, he's looked terrific so far for the Pistons. Yeah. So with Suggs out and the way Luka Garza has been playing, especially if Cade Cunningham does play, I would definitely back the Pistons. They're only laying a point. If Cade doesn't end up playing, I don't know if I would take him. I would tread lightly on him, but that's my lean. I like the Pistons.
Stay tuned to the action.
Yeah, for sure. Stay tuned. It's funny because people were doubting his game transitioning into the NBA. Luka Garza.
He transformed his body. He looks leaner. He's gained some.
He has a little better of a shot. He always had a pretty decent shot, but if he improved on that, I think it just makes him.
He improved from the 3-point line.
Yeah,
that's great.
And he has that fadeaway just like Dirk with the leg out.
He's a big dude that can help.
And his confidence is through the roof. So
player of the year. And you got drafted all the way in the back
from Iowa.
Exactly,
Hawkeyes, baby. Joe,
let's transition to the fights we had this weekend. How'd you end up doing?
Dude, I did excellent this weekend, actually. A lot of surprising occurrences. You know, we had our little judges controversy there, but man, my record
again,
and this time in the PFL, you know, at this time, very expensive, costly mistakes because these guys, they lost out on opportunities to make the $1 million. But my record was 10-1. Also one no contest.
Boy.
So yeah,
through
across
Bellator, PFL, and
one exactly. So we had the one no contest and the one championship where the two heavyweights. One dude is like 7 foot tall, fighting like a 6'2" guy. They just kept hitting illegal strikes on one another, so that had to end. The refs came in and were like, "No, we got to stop this. Like this is a no contest. We cannot continue doing this." So
overall, the fights were pretty exciting over the weekend.
Yeah, I actually would say that most of them were. Like I said, with the judges' controversy, once again, the one specific matchup that everyone kind of saw the other way was Clay Collard's matchup against Raush Manfio. And yes, I did pick Raush Manfio to win that, but I don't think he deserved that. You know, he lost the first 2 rounds according to the Verdict Global Scorecard, and the 3rd round he did win. You know, I always do speak about him. He does get stronger as the matches go on. For a big guy that carries a lot of muscle, he tends to have a good tank. But, man, those first 2 rounds were definitely Clay Collard's, yet in the judges' scorecard, when we saw them, they were giving the first round to Roush Manfio. One judge had all 3 rounds to Roush Manfio, and another one gave the second round to Roush Manfio. So it was just once again some controversy in the judges' eyes. Is we don't know what they're seeing in that aspect involved. We need to get more fighters involved, or maybe just get verdict involved at all of it, because they have just been a tremendous force in the MMA community. So
I don't think we'll ever have a week without any controversy in the judges in any league.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's just way judging is, and you're getting it across not just United States, you're getting it across internationally.
Absolutely.
So it's not specific.
Anything we should know coming up in these leagues? I know PFL's in the playoffs.
PFL's continuing, so we got more PFL coming up this week. I think they're going to have an event on Friday.
Nice.
Bellator, I think, will come in the next 2 weeks. And one, I don't think will happen until a month again. I think they're on a little hiatus once again. I guess it's kind of hard. They do have some good youthful talent, but I just don't think they're as deep as some of these other promotions. But, hey, they got a great owner, and I think they're just going to build with the talent pool. And I know UFC's coming back again this weekend, so
yes, sir.
We get ready for that as well.
Yoel Romero got it cleared. Is he ready to fight?
Yeah, he got cleared for Bellator, so he's gonna be competing at 205. Will be the first time I think we're gonna see him there. I know he's done it in the past, but first time in like the bright lights that we'll see him compete at 205, and we got to see who he's gonna be fighting. I heard rumors of him fighting Phil Davis.
Oh, wow.
He was a part of the tournament, but then got pulled out because of the physical and stuff like that. So he was supposed to square off against Anthony Rumble Johnson the first time. Anthony Rumble Johnson has moved on in that tournament. So I don't think they're going to insert Yoel Romero. I think they're going to have him fight someone who's maybe outside the tournament and then have him involved after that. So a couple interesting headlines there, but it was an okay weekend.
I'm glad we had a packed weekend of fights to get us ready for another UFC fight night this Saturday. Great middleweight main event, Jared Cannonier versus Kevin Gastelum. Any initial thoughts on the main event, Joe?
Man, I like these two fighters. 185 is a slept-on division. It's another one where the 170 and 185, they seem to be getting less exciting because of how dominant the champions are. You got Kamaru Usman at 170, and you got Israel Adesanya at 185. So these guys are just cleaning house, and we're seeing a lot of title contenders come out of the top 15, breaking into the top 10, and then breaking into the top 5, finally getting their title shots. But the fact is the champs are still beating them, and they're cleaning house. So
cleaning house,
man. 185 at that right now. Kelvin Gastelum, he didn't look as good as he did when he fought Jack Hermanson. When he did fight against Robert Whittaker made him kind of look foolish. But Robert Whittaker makes everyone look foolish besides Izzy Adesanya, because when he fought Cannonier, and this is Robert Whittaker I'm talking about, he snapped his arm in the first round with his kicks. So if you remember that, I think it's just the fact of fighting Bobby Knuckles. Like, it's no easy fight with that man. And I think that rematch, I hate to jump off topic, but that rematch is going to be one for the ages, I think, because Bobby Knuckles is coming to fight. He wants his title back, and Izzy's there to stand and defend it. So
definitely going to be an interesting fight this Saturday. We got 3 weeks in a row of fight nights, getting ready for UFC 266 in the end of September. That's going to be a good one.
That's an early peak. I like that.
Oh, early.
That's a good one. 266 is going to be exciting.
Let's hit the diamond, talk some baseball. I'm not going to lie. While I was on vacation in a state, I couldn't bet on sports. It felt kind of good to take a couple of days off.
You needed them.
Get my mind right, recharge the battery. I watched a little baseball. Shout out New Jersey Little League World Series. Comeback. We were down 3-0, scored 6 in the bottom of the 6th, and we beat Delaware to go to Williamsport.
Yep.
How do you feel, Delaware?
Let's go.
How you feel?
We're gonna have to see Pennsylvania again because they beat us up a couple times. We're gonna have to get that back.
Yes, it's okay though. We made it.
That's right.
Shout out Tom's River.
Tom
Tom,
River.
they always represent us.
Money.
But Elvis, you had a 4-0 day on Friday's pod. How you feel?
You they call me the NBA guru, but sometimes I dabble into sport. So I'm happy to give you a little 4-piece action. Could have taken them straight up, could have taken them parlay, anything.
Yeah, would have made money.
Would have worked out. You could have done anything with those picks. You would have been good all weekend. You would have had the time of your life.
How did the rest of the weekend go for you on the diamond?
I'm be
as good.
Above water. I'm 10-5 for the weekend.
Okay.
So
in the green
in baseball.
You're up. I don't see that a lot from you, but you're good. I'm getting better now.
I told you, man, I'm coming. I'm kind of told you by October, I'm gonna be a UFC shark.
Couple months.
It might be an early projection on that, man. You're getting there.
Well, we only have a few games going on tonight. Let's start with the Cubs game. Joe, do you have anything on the Cubs Indians game?
I was looking at it. I think two bad ball clubs, and I'm not gonna touch it because I didn't know where to go. So,
Elvis, anything for you on this game?
You know me, though. Like Joey said, two bad clubs, and the only time I bet the Cubs is my boy Kyle Hendricks.
Kyle Hendricks.
Yeah. So tomorrow, money line 155. Kyle Hendricks
for tomorrow.
For tomorrow's game.
Oh wow!
I repeat that. This is tomorrow's game.
Oh okay.
As of right now, the Cubs are plus 155.
I do have a play for today. I'm going to be taking the Reds minus the run line, -1.5 at -111. Justin Steele's on the mound for the Cubs. Wade Miley's going for the Reds. Miley's been great for the Reds, especially at home. 6.2 record, 2.56 ERA, 4 home runs given up in 59 innings. He's going against a Cubs team that just been awful scoring runs. Wilson Contreras has been banged up. He's been in and out of the lineup. And besides him, you don't really have that much to lean your head on with this because they traded everyone away. Even their bullpen has struggled since trading their closer, Craig Kimbrell. And in the month of August, they're 1-12, losing 11 games in a row. Damn. I can't back the Cubs in this spot. I'll go with the Reds on the run line at -111.
Yeah, I thought it was the Reds. I was going to say Wade Miley on the mound. You want to lean him. But I fact you said the Indians. I think they're playing Minnesota. Oh
yeah, I did. I fucked up. Thank you, Joe.
You're quite all right.
But it was Cubs and Reds.
They're not two overachieving clubs, so that's why I stayed away from there. And yeah, I would more have an efficient lean on the Reds in that game with Wade Miley in the mound. But I gotta lean the Cubs when they have Hendricks, so that's for tomorrow for you guys.
Roll with Elvis.
Let's go. Him all year. 11-3 record with him. Wow. That's my boy.
Let's go to the next 7-11 game. We got Matt Harvey Day, Orioles and the Rays. Joe, I know you got to play on this one.
Yeah, you know I'm supporting the Dark Knight return. Nah, man. He's no longer, you can't call him that, man. But I think I'm going to do a Matt Harvey Day, and I'm going to be taking them going on the road to Tampa Bay. I know it's a long stretch because even them getting a half a run is at plus 145. And I think that was for the first 5. So I got Baltimore getting the half a run in the first 5 at plus 145. They've got a low-scoring affair. You've had a couple down there in St. Petersburg, right? They're over there.
Yes, sir.
And I just think, Tampa Bay can easily stomp on this club, but let's put a shot out there and let's try to win some plus money.
And it's only first 5. Hopefully they get a lead early.
Yeah, something or
go a home run or something.
There's been a lot of ties in the first inning or a lot of ball games not getting scored in like the third as well. So maybe we get a tie ball game, no runs on the board until late innings. So that'll be perfect.
And it's plus money, right, Joe?
Plus money, plus 145.
Oh, gotta love it.
Let's go to the first 8-11 game. We got the Royals against the Astros. Elvis, I know you have a play for this game.
I'm going to be honest. The line scared me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be honest. There's no way I caught the Astros at -148 against the Royals. I'm going to be honest. Yes, I understand they're on the road.
It's -154 right now. It's gone up a little.
It got up a little bit. I caught it at 148 on the money line. And I'm going to be honest. I'm rolling with Houston, man. They've been real pretty good lately. And I'm going to be honest. You got to fade Royals. I'm gonna be honest. They haven't been there since 2015.
Oh my God. That's some years now. Man,
Joe, you have a play?
I've actually researching this game. A lot of experts are trying to think that they're home dogs right here, like they're live ones, Kansas City Royals over there at Kauffman Stadium. I think that's one of the more beautiful ballparks. But enough about the stadium.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It definitely is. Enough about that stadium, though, man. I'm taking Houston here. It's just too big of a gap in terms of talent between the two teams. I do got some play like Whit Merrifield. I think is a great ball player. And I like Jorge Soler and obviously Salvador Perez, one of the best catchers in the league. That's for the Royals, but man, Houston, when they got the pitching staff going and they got all their bats, it makes me feel comfortable taking them a -1.5 runs in the full game at -105. I had to squeeze it down as much as possible because pretty much every line Houston's favored it in, and this was probably the lowest one that I saw. So yeah, I just feel comfortable away or at home taking them against the Kansas City Royal Club that just doesn't have it. I know the team names I mentioned for that team, but don't be surprised that like end of the season they're all gone. They're traded, or by next year they're also gone off the club and they start from scratch once again. So official play: Houston Astros -1.5 at -105.
Now it's at even money at plus 100. So if you want to jump on it right now, you're getting plus money.
All right, I guess that means a little back end money on Kansas because all the experts saying they're a live dog there. So
yeah, they are there are money coming in on the Royals. The guy Chris Hernandez, he has been pretty solid. That's the one I took for the under with him in the Yankees. And a hit. Yeah.
Can't trust it though. It's always inconsistent.
And with the Astros, their just lineup is just stacked.
Bro, my theory, man, always go with the better team. Paper don't lie. Remember that.
Wow.
Paper do not lie.
Let's go to my second official play. Now let's get to the Indians. They're, like Joey said, they're versing the Twins. I got to roll with the dog in this matchup. I'm taking the Indians on the money line at plus 110. Cal Quantrill on the – no, not until next year. I actually looked that up.
Yeah, you can't say anything official.
You just call them Cleveland, or is it –
It's the Cleveland baseball team. Yeah,
at the moment?
They're the Indians right now, technically, but the Guardians don't come into effect till next year.
Okay.
You can't buy a Guardian hat at Lids right now.
I don't think so.
You cannot buy a Guardians hat.
I'm still rolling with the Indians.
Yeah, you can.
But yeah, like I said,
custom.
Cal Quantrill's on the mound for the Indians. He's going against Griffin Jax for the Twins. As of late, Cal Quantrill has been solid. Over his last 6 starts, he's only given up 5 runs, 1 home run. Griffin Jax, he's been okay, 3-1, but a 5.45 ERA. But with the Twins bullpen, they're horrendous. You just can't be relying on them if the Twins do get a lead. With the Indians, they did a nice job yesterday, putting up 11 runs against the Tigers. I expect another strong start from Cal Quantrill. I honestly think they should be the favorite in this spot. So I'll take the plus money here with the Indians on the money line at plus 110. So hopefully that's my dog of the day. Let's get to the next game. 8:45, we got the Padres and Rocky. Elvis, who do you got?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, again, I really don't like Ryan Weathers that much, but the kid is back, Dylan. I know you talk bad about my man Tatis.
Yeah, he's back.
He's back, and that ball just flies out there in Denver. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to go with the better hitting team. I'm running with San Diego on the money line at minus 130. I was even thinking about taking the run line at plus 112. Wow. But I'm not too sure on that, so I'll be taking the money line at minus 130 just to play it safe.
Another, like Joey was saying, a lot of sharp money has been coming in on the Rockies at home. I think they have one of the best winning percentages at home.
Surprising.
So you got to be judging these teams differently from road to home. But I feel you. And Ryan Weathers,
he's a little shaky.
He's a little bit shaky. I think that's why you're catching a low number on that.
I think that's why the line is so low, and that's why I'm not taking the run line. I'm just taking the money line.
How about you, Joe? What do you got?
Now, I think I honestly might do the total here. I know it's high. It's at 12.5.
You're a goon.
But you know me, and I even mentioned before the game. Let's ride the over at that Coors Field, man. Both teams could possibly get on the board, and I'll lean over 12.5. As crazy as it sounds, is it plus money? Because that is a high line.
It's at 13.
It's at 13 now. It just went up.
I took it at 12.5. 12.5 counts.
Yeah, that is the official play.
Yeah, you got it at 12.5. What was the odds on that?
That's why I thought it was plus money. Did I not?
I don't know because it's at 13 right now.
It was plus 100.
So I think we got it at plus money.
At what?
Because that's a high line. 12.5 is high.
What is it now? 13.
It's at 13.
Minus 104.
Minus 104.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure last night it was over 12.5
right.
at plus 100 flat.
I would lean with it, even though that's not that likely of a chance.
Let's go to Joe, our Mets. They're taking on probably one of the best teams in the league, San Francisco Giants, on the road after just getting swept. Joe, are you even touching this game?
Yeah, and I'm going to take the under. I just think
nice.
Gausman on the mound, we're going to be held under. We're not getting our bats together at the moment. Maybe I'm focusing more on us and not the lineup the San Francisco's offering because they could score some runs, especially at home, but I'm hoping they don't. So just how bad we playing, maybe we get the pitching under control. And I'm going to roll with the under 4.5 in the first 5 at minus 115 because I think that's where the best chance of us holding a low-scoring game can be held is in the first 5. After that, if we get our bullpen involved, they could start getting runs on us, and maybe we could start hitting the bullpen if they do because I think their bullpen's sound, but I think we got to get past these starting pitchers like DeSclafani and Gausman, who's on the mound today. So
just have everyone. I'm not touching it.
All I'm gonna say in this is, just to be a little asshole, the Mets was their first place All-Star break. Remember this, guys.
For 90 days in a row.
The Mets was their first place, and I told Dylan, I'm like, they're gonna choke it away. Javier Baez is cool and all.
He's on the injured list now.
But y'all not it. And now look at y'all. About to be 500.
Well, he's leading the league in errors.
I'll be taking the Giants on the run line. Minus 1.5.
Wow.
Minus 110. I'm gonna be honest. You can't go wrong here. I just don't see the Mets putting up any runs tonight.
Let's hope it's a 2-0 in the ninth.
Yeah, I hope it's a 2-0 game. Honestly, I hope it might be. No cap, Joe. The line is 8.5. I'm gonna try to predict the correct score. I'm gonna say 5-2 Giants.
Wow.
Money line.
Let's hope most of those runs come in the late innings.
Yeah.
But
he got the
hopefully
under
not.
now. See, everyone could win. You could hit your
Yeah.
1.5. He could win
That's
his
right.
under
Look,
4.5.
if I hit that correct score, I'm gonna be like, oh, I should have put money on it.
Yep. Well, thank you, boys, for those baseball plays. Let's hit the field. We have a full weekend of of preseason football. We've now seen each team at least once. After watching some games, anything stands out to either of you for a specific team or player that you might like or dislike?
I
No?
pushed.
Joey pushed.
Terrible.
Me personally, Trey Lance impressed me.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I think they could do some damage if they make the transition. For Trey
When do you
Lance.
think he actually starts?
Like me and you was going over the schedule earlier before the show. Their week 1, week 2 games are easy, and then week 3 they have Green Bay, Seahawks, and Rams. Maybe not in that order, but they have the Seahawks.
So they open up against the Lions,
Lions and
then
Philly.
then Green Bay, then Seattle.
Where are they on the road there? Are they going to Green Bay and going
They're
to Seattle?
at Detroit, at Philly, and they're home for those 2 hard games, Green Bay and
That
Seattle.
can help them out a little bit, but still.
Yeah, I don't see him getting thrown in the fire against any top tier team, especially in the division, especially not a division game, because they're just gonna light them up. They're just gonna blitz.
Mhm.
That's true.
But he did.
They
look
have their
good.
bye week in week 6. So after they play Seattle, they're on
Yeah.
the road against
It
Arizona.
all depends on Jimmy G, but I'm gonna be honest, Jimmy G is just injury prone and he's a turnover machine. So,
But they're going to be healthy this year. They were plagued with injuries last year.
I know, but Jimmy G's injured every year. So
Hopefully,
I say sometime in the mid-year, and it's either gonna be due to injury, not talent wise. It's just Jimmy G's gonna end up getting hurt, a minor injury, miss a few games, and then Trey Lance could come in.
and not look back.
Not
maybe
look
not
back.
look
I can say
It all
sometimes
depends.
filling in for injury might be the best case scenario because, I mean, the one recently that we could look back into is Dak because when he had to come in for injury for Tony Romo,
Never look back.
never look back.
And he shined in the preseason. He was throwing for like 400 yards. I was like, who the hell is this guy?
Mississippi State?
Line it up. So also for the preseason, unders 14-3. So if you
Amazing.
blindly just bet the under, boo, you've been
You might get-
cashing.
maybe
I'm
parlay it.
4-0. Great. The atmosphere. I was at the preseason game in Baltimore against the Saints. Covered the 2.5. Never a
18
doubt.
consecutive preseason wins, those Ravens.
Haven't lost since 2015.
That's-
I'm telling you. That's insane.
That is insane, especially preseason.
But the atmosphere was great. Love it in Maryland. So
Football town over there.
yeah, it was great to be back. And their deep had 5 turnovers, 3 picks. So I saw Jameis and I saw Taysom Hill. Both didn't really excite me at all.
But Taysom got a $100 million contract. Wow.
We'll see if he actually.
Not my business.
But let's hit the NFC West. We'll finish the NFC today. On Friday we'll finish actually with the
Cardinals.
Rams and
Rams and the Cardinals. Thank you.
No,
Drew
Seahawks and the
Blank.
Cardinals.
Seahawks and the Cardinals. But let's hit the Rams first. Joe, what do you got?
So we're doing with the Rams, man, and I did a little soul searching, and I think it's kind of a lock that they are going to pretty much be contending for the division. They're pretty much going to be one of the better teams there, and trying to win out the NFC West. So with that in mind, I was looking at the odds in them making a playoff, and they were like minus 235, minus 300, and I just think it wasn't really worth it there. But where I did see some good value is in terms of their win totals, because I saw it at 10.5. And the over there was plus 105. And I just think I got to take that. As soon as I saw the plus 105 on the over 10.5, I think this team is pretty much guaranteed to get at least 10. Like, their floor is 10 wins, I think. I think this is a 10-win ball club if it's a bad season in my eyes. I know we had Cam Akers get hurt, and there's still question marks about the running thing, but I do feel like Matt Stafford's going to have a point to prove. He's finally going to have a coach that he sees eye to eye with and an offense that revolves around the quarterback. So with me, also locking in their win total at 10.5 over, it's plus 105. man, I just mentioned it. Matthew Stafford. I think the only chance of success they have is for him to have an amazing season. And I know if he's had some career seasons, but I would go on a limb and say this could be his best one yet. And if that being said, Sean McVay, the offensive genius, is going to make this dude look like he's 10 years ago, like 10 years younger. So it's going to be a rejuvenated Matt Stafford. And I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to put it in. It's on my action app. I have Matthew Stafford to win the NFL MVP at plus 1,800 odds. It's a long shot. There's only
I love it.
But there's only 5 quarterbacks ahead of him that have better odds. So I just felt like any chance of success, we have a lot on stake for the Rams in terms of them winning the division and possibly competing for a Super Bowl. It's all going to come down to Matt Stafford. If he's going to – maybe you want to even look at his statistics in terms of what his over and under on his passing yards is going to be, because anything under like 4,500, I think he might hit over, man. I don't know if he's going to compete, but we have seen him in the past get close to 5,000 passing yards. And I mean,
that was with the Detroit team.
That was with the Detroit team. Granted, Megatron, but – if we now have an offensive guru that we think Sean McVay is and finally has the ability to have the offense he wants, there's a chance of him getting 5,000 passing yards this year. So I think it just helps him with terms of the MVP race, and it helps the team in terms of winning the division and also getting over their 10.5 wins. So locking both of those up, and they're both plus money. So let's see we have a great season from these guys. I do hope the man the best, because he's one of the toughest, most durable guys fighting through injury. You've seen it. On a team that had no hope, the Detroit Lions. Now he's in L.A., you got sunny weather, and he's got a team that could, like I said, compete for a Super Bowl. So let's see what happens.
I think Stafford's a live bet for MVP, just because, like you said, without any running game now, the ball's going to be in his hands 90 to 95%. They didn't make this exchange for Goff for Stafford to run the ball. He want to push the ball downfield, because with McVay's offense,
he's pushing
stagnant.
Isn't he he's been the best passer down the field, or has had the most average yards down the field. Like this guy,
and success rate too.
My man Bruce Arians, stop playing.
What do you got for the Rams future market?
I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of in a toss up, but it's just hard to go against this team at 10.5 wins. I'll be honest. I checked out the schedule. Last season they went 10-6. Remember, down the last few games of the season, Jared Goff didn't play. He had a broken thumb. They had that lawyer. He was a lawyer. I forgot his name, but he was starting.
I think it was Wofford. He was like a Canadian football player, to be honest.
CJ Wofford or something?
Yeah, CJ or something like that.
I don't know. But CJ Wofford, whatever his name is, finished off the season. They went 10-6 last season. So to me, even if they have a bad season, they're a 10-win team minimum. So with Matt Stafford being an addition, I think they'll be much better. They still have a top 3, possibly the second best defense, right behind Washington in the league. That O-line is top 10. And that receiving core is going to be the best receiving core you ever had, like collectively. Megatron is Megatron. But collectively, this is going to be the best receiving core you ever had, the best coach you ever had, best offensive coordinator you ever had. And Joey, like you said, the only thing that's kind of suspect is the running game. So I do like that you want to go with Matthew Stafford on the MVP, because you have no running game. He's going to air it out. I think they're going to have to throw the ball at least 35 to 40 times a game to win. Not to win, but to get those numbers. So I'll be rolling with the Rams 10.5 wins at plus 125. I caught it at plus 125. I was like, wow. So I was surprised on that, but I just think this team set up to at least win at least 11, 12 games easily.
Nice. I'm all alignment with you guys as well. I don't think they're going to be running the ball a lot this year, especially with Cam Akers out. They'll be good, and they'll be ahead in most games. So I think they're going to try and kill time, even though McVay does like to run the ball and play action. But I think that was designed actually for Goff. So with Stafford, the playbook's going to open up. I got to go over 10.5. I called it at plus 120. I think they're going to be favored in at least 13 or 14 out of their 17 games. They upgraded their defense. Like we all said, the addition of Matthew Stafford and him giving that offensive ability to push the ball downfield is huge for them. They did lose Cam Akers, but Sean McVay is going to figure out a way to keep this offensive rolling. A lot of people think regression is coming for this team, but the way they've played with guys not being as injured as other teams, I think it's more than just being lucky. Now their schedule late in the season, they do have a couple tough games, but I just see them dominating and being very competitive and even the close games. So I'll take a swing with you guys at the over 10.5 at plus 120. I got it at. I also have a player prop.
Oof, let me hear it.
Robert Woods over 995.5 receiving yards. In his 4 years with the Rams, he averaged 1,017 yards per season with Goff at the QB position. Now they bring in Stafford, who is better. He'll definitely have the opportunity and chances to go over this number. He's on the field more than 90% of the offensive snaps last year and hasn't missed a game since 2017. Oh, yeah. Now, like I said, Cam Akers is hurt. So they're just going to be wanting to throw the ball more. And they got their guy. Sean May got his QB. So I think with Woods, Stafford, they're going to have a great connection. I like Woods more than Cooper Kupp.
I was going to say, Cooper Kupp's still there, but they did lose Cooks, right? Cooks is on Titans now, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So I'll go over the 995.5 receiving yards at minus 115. I think they're going to have a good year.
I'll be honest, Dylan. I like that too. I think if he stays healthy, he'll surpass that.
And they have an extra game this year.
Yeah. Easily.
So
yeah, they're gonna need a 1,000-yard receiver if Stafford's gonna have
if he gets MVP, he needs two. He needs
He's
two.
Gonna need two, exactly. Maybe Cooper Kupp as well, man. You say you would. You like?
He's getting 1,000.
I was gonna say you like out of the slot. He's versatile, man. If you like Woods for 1,000, maybe even Kupp as well, man.
Mm-hmm. Let's head to the Cardinals. Elvis, I'm gonna start with you this time. Who do you like, or where are you going in the future?
Arizona, man.
I'm high on this team.
I'm high on this team. I'm gonna be honest.
Even though they're same here.
Yeah, they are in the toughest division, if not the best division in football. So that worries me a little bit. But all I keep hearing, Kyle Murray's overrated. Cliff Kingsbury's overrated. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is the time to shine. You know, the defense is stout. They have a top 10 defense. Offensively, I don't think A.J. Green is going to be who he was in Cincinnati a few years back, but they still got D-Hop there. They got James Conner. I don't think it's a big splash, but hey, that's a name. You know, that's a solid running back. And I'm going to be honest, Kyle Murray, man, I personally think Kyle Murray is ready to take the next step, and I think he will transition to a top 10 quarterback, if not possibly a top 5 quarterback this season. He has one of the strongest arms in the game, and I'm going to be honest, he's probably right behind Lamar as the fastest quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he wants to burn you a lot with his legs. I think he wants to focus throwing more down the field. And then I think with AJ Green on the opposite side of D-Hop, that will free D-Hop just a little bit with the safety help.
Yeah.
So I think that benefits him. Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald is gone. That's his little security blanket. But I just think defensively, this team is there, especially with the division. And then offensively, sky's the limit. Because if Kyle Murray could come out and show and have not an MVP season, but MVP type season, go out there and have, 40 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards, 600 yards rushing. Hey, I'll gladly take this team over the wins. And I called it jumped to 8.5.
Yeah, it's at 8.5 now.
I called it at 8 at minus 130. So I smashed it at 8. I didn't even second guess.
You laid the little chalk instead of getting plus money. You might even hit 8.5 because if you got him winning at 8.
I'm going to be honest. That's like I said, that's one of the toughest division in football. So do I see him winning more games than the Rams or 49ers if healthy? I don't.
Or the Seahawks.
But I do see him winning over 8 games.
Wow, that's interesting. How about you, Joe? Where are you going with this?
Yeah, man, I'm going to go with you and say it is the best division in football because I very well see 3 teams coming out of this conference making the playoffs.
Me too.
That's what I could possibly see happening this year. And going off what you said about Kyler Murray, man, I got 2 player props, and then I have a little play for the future. So my first player prop, man, is with Kyler Murray because I'm taking him over his rushing yards. I think he's actually going to lead the quarterbacks in rushing this year. Over 680.5 rushing yards. That's at minus 120. He
could do it.
He hit both the props in his prior 2 years, and last season he ran for over 800. So I think it's kind of a lock that he's going to get at least 700 yards. They have it at 680.5. Vegas obviously knows a little something, but he's going to, anytime he's near the 10-yard line, it's a threat. That man could just run it in at any point he wants. Yeah, like you said, no Fitz, but they have Christian Kirk, and they got James Conner, who I think could maybe receive a little bit out of the backfield, but the line is going to hold him just enough that he can use his legs if need be. I just think it comes down to the coaching if they're going to be able to, do good this year. Because a lot of his fantasy stuff, he was one of the better fantasy quarterbacks, came in garbage time. So I don't think fantasy quarterback aspect actually it like helps in terms of our gambling aspect. There are 2 different two different entities altogether. But I'm kind of high on Kyler Murray this year. I want to see what he's got. So that's the player prop I got for him. And the other player prop, man, I'm sticking with one of the biggest signings in the offseason. I'm going to talk about J.J. Watt because his sack total is at 8.25. So I'm doing over 8.25 sacks at -115. Remember, mind you, Torres Peck, anytime he had a healthy season, he's hit double-digit sacks. So as long as he stays healthy this year, he's going to hit double-digit sacks. And what also that will do, there's some money incentive for this. If he hits his double-digit sacks, he will get a $3 million bonus. So not only for his pockets, but also he's J.J. Watt. You know what I mean? To keep his name as is. To say there's a threat still there. I know there's also some controversy about the opposite side with Chandler Jones maybe wanting out of Arizona.
He's not happy.
But if he stays there, man, the other guys they have on that line, this is a pass rushing defense. And he could definitely help with that. You might say other guys could steal his sacks, but, man, you focus on J.J., you're letting that up, and you're letting the other side up, J.J.'s going to be free. Also keep in mind, he had his interception last year, and coming off interception years, he has gotten a double-digit sack. So that's why I'm just kind of rolling with
little trends.
Trends that are giving us precedent to why I'm going to say he actually will get into the double digits this year. Right now, all you need is 9 or even 8.5, and he'll hit the over 8.25 at -115. So I think he can help with the team, man. And if Kyler Murray's having that good of a year, and J.J. Watt's going to have that good of a year, I don't know how they'll do it. I don't know if they're going to have a chance of winning the division. But like I said, I could see 3 teams out of this conference to make the playoffs. And so for the Cardinals, I'm taking them to make the playoffs at +185. Because they could be the 3rd team in that division to make it, right above the 49ers or above the Seahawks, depending on what happens with them. We'll talk about that on Friday. But, man, as of right now, at +185, I'm liking it. I'm liking the team. I just hope Kingsbury can coach. I hope the defensive coordinators can get that D locked in and use their strengths, and let's have fun. Like I think it is the best division in football, and for them to make the playoffs, like I said, it could be the second wild card, it could be the first wild card, which would be the second team in that division. If they win the division, no, that will blow me away. I'll be so surprised by them winning the division, but I think it's a tall task between having great coaching from the 49ers, good pedigree from the Seahawks, and then also Rams. I think it's kind of their division to lose, to be completely honest. So let's see what happens.
I'm aligned with you guys. I think Kyler Murray, he is the guy, but the jury's still out on Cliff Kingsbury. If they go another 500 or below expectations, I think he's either out or on the hot seat. I think he even might be on the hot seat already. They brought him in to develop Kyler Murray, and they really – and you got a top 5 receiver. You got DeAndre Hopkins, got Christian Kirk. You had Kenyon Drake. Granted, they just got.
But now AJ Green, like you said.
AJ Green. Let's hope he could be the old AJ Green and not the new one. If he stays healthy, and I think that's with every team. They just have to stay healthy. If JJ Watt stays healthy, he's gonna easily go over that. Especially if Chandler Jones does end up playing. You got to have 2 guys for Chandler Jones, and it's going to free up space.
So one of them you need to help on. So
every play,
one of them is going to get a sack a game.
True,
but I don't know. Real quick before I give mine, Joe, if he to your making the playoffs, who do you have not making the playoffs in that division?
I add the 49ers because like I said, we like the
coaching.
So
you got your Seahawks. You got your Seahawks going.
That my concern is it's between them two. Like, I feel like they're going to have similar records of 49ers and the Seahawks because they do have struggles outside of the strengths they have. That's the issue. Yeah, defensively, 49ers are going to be stout, right? Nick Bosa. What were you going to say?
I'm more confident in San Francisco more than the 49ers.
Yeah.
Than the Seahawks.
Hey, but there's always that X factor. Every time you think the Seahawks are going to lose a game, they got a quarterback that can win them a game as opposed to the 49ers where we have questions about the quarterback. Granted, the staff may be stronger around the quarterback where we have questions on the 49ers. Seahawks wind up winning games because of their quarterback, even though they have a lack of proficient players around them. So it's just 2 different variables, and we'll just see what happens.
I think every team in this division has their guy, their quarterback.
And I'll be honest, this division is stout with great coaches.
Yeah. Absolutely. Across and coordinators. And I agree. I think that this is the best division, Joe. I'm in alliance with you. But for me, I got to do a player prop as well. I'm going with James Conner. Over 595.5 rushing yards at -120. He He went over both of these numbers 2 of his 3 years in the league, despite missing 12 games during those years. He's also taking over the number 1 running back role in Arizona, replacing Kenyon Drake. Drake rushed for 955 rushing yards and had 10 touchdowns last year. They don't have a bad O-line, pretty good, and I think he goes over this number easily. And his rushing touchdowns, 5.5. I would hammer that as well.
Wow.
So he just needs to stay healthy. He does miss sometimes because he gets hurt, but if he could stay healthy, O-line's capable enough. They're going to want to run the ball because they will be up during games. I think he goes over 595 easily.
Smart.
Yeah, I believe that. I'm surprised it's that low. It's kind of disrespectful.
He does tend to get hurt.
He does tend to get hurt, but 595?
Hey, if the team can hold together, I think they're going to be a threat. Definitely keep an eye out.
He averages 40 yards a game. I think he'll
do it real quick right now.
Well, 40 yards a game, 10 games, that's 400. Add an additional 5.
680.
That's all I need.
He's 40 yards a game.
Yeah, James,
Vegas,
I know you can do
this
it.
one.
James, I know you got it, bud. But that's going to do it for today. This Friday, we'll finish the NFC West with the 49ers and Seahawks. Any last words before we get up out of here, boys?
I'll be honest. On Friday's show, I said, hey, I haven't said it in a minute. It worked. Red Sox swept the Orioles, went undefeated. Yankees lost a few games. So I'm going to say it. Yankees, you suck. Yankees suck. Bronx suck. It kind of stinks in the Bronx. I'll be there. Trust me. I know. But, yeah, Yankees suck.
Doubleheader tomorrow.
Red Sox. 1 p.m., 7 p.m.
Monday night.
Matter.
How about you, Joe? Any last words?
No, man, I actually just can't wait for this next episode on Friday we're going to be having, because I'm going to be talking about my team, the Seahawks, and, I might have hell to give them. So
I can't wait for those takes. We will see you guys on Friday with more picks, hot takes. Everyone have a great week. Good luck on your wagers. Please follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. Please subscribe, rate, review. All that stuff helps us out tremendously. Be a friend. Tell a friend, and everyone, best of luck.